Well, we could talk about Human Rights Day, but let's talk song. Before we start, let me quickly thank Andrew Morgan and Georgiana BS for their amazing support of the channel. Georgiana, especially for you, if you're watching this, you requested So Long London by Taylor Swift, which is going to come out soon, promise. If the rest of you want to contribute to the development of this channel, please check out the membership options underneath the video. Today I'm going to be looking at the next track from Taylor Swift's The Life of a Showgirl. It's called Wood, it's track number 9, and I really want to continue learning about Taylor Swift's amazing songwriting, so without further ado, let's get going. Step 1, find the key of the song. I hear something that revolves around F. Step 2, find the chords. Right? I believe I know what this is. So I believe this is a... Two minor, 4-1 progression in the key of F major. So we're talking about G minor, B flat major, and F. Really beautiful passing chords and also really beautiful harmonic rhythm where we have got those very, very prominent hits. 1, 2, 3, dun, 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 dun. Right? So we have got 1, 2, 3 and dun, bum. So we've got this syncopated rhythm that I will make sure to transcribe for you. Really interesting thing. The passing chords are interesting because I believe that after the G minor we have got F with A in bass, which makes sense because look at the bass movement. From G over A we want to reach B flat, and from this B flat we have the C as a passing chord, which makes a lot of sense because the C is the dominant chord to the F, okay? So we see that embedded in that very, very cool harmonic rhythm, we also have this push and pull functions of the chords, which make it a really, really powerful, cool, funky intro.
Daisy's bare naked, I was distraught. He loves me not.
Alright, we have got the same thing in the instruments that we had in the intro, so we keep this 2 minor 4-1 harmonic idea, and we have got Taylor starting her melody on the first downbeat with this melody here.
Daisy's bare naked, I was distraught.
Ba-da-bum. This is interesting, look at this. So we have got the G minor chord as an underlying harmonic structure, but what Taylor sings is the 7 and the 9, okay? Creating that beautiful juicy flavor on that 2 minor chord. Bum, bum, bum. So that's the prominent melodic idea that she starts with as a motif that I believe she will develop in the course of the verse.
Daisy's bare naked, I was distraught.
Is it this? I believe is what I hear.
Daisy's bare naked, I was distraught.
I was distraught. Really, really cool leap down. Bum, bum, ba, bum, bum, ba, ba, doo, dum. Right? Also interesting that she would land on the B flat when the chord also moves to the B flat, right? So we got this landing on the root note of the chord, creating some kind of mini resolution in the middle of the phrase.
He loves me not.
Ba-da-da-dum. And then also another resolution that goes from that B flat chord to the F chord, and we go down melody wise from the B flat to the A, that is of course the major 3 of the F chord.
He loves me not.
Ba-da-bum-bum. Okay, and when we stay on the F chord, she stays on the A melody note. Let's look at lyrics, because I think by now we have established the clear structure that the verse is going to be in, so we can find out if the structure is kept or changed in the course of the song. Daisy's bare naked, I was distraught. he loves me not. He loves me not. So what we have got here is we could argue a very long line with Daisy's bare naked, I was distraught, and 2 short lines that rhyme with the first line, in that case even with a repetition, right? So not certainly rhymes with distraught, creating that, we could say, a rhyming pattern. We could also say that this Daisy's bare naked is the first line, making it 4 short lines, and then we would have an XAAA rhyming pattern.
And he's unlucky, I took him back and then stepped on a crack.
Okay, what we have got here is basically a repetition of all the structural motifs. Same chord certainly. The melody is almost the same as in the first idea, with a tiny variation at the end where she resolves into the F chord even more by going down to the F note in the melody. Listen to this.
And the black cat laughed.
And the black cat laughed, and then we really go to the root note of the F, intensifying that home feeling that the F chord had all along. The lyrics certainly change. The Daisy becomes the Penny, and she is unlucky. Penny's unlucky, I took him back, and then stepped on a crack, and the black cat laughed. What is interesting is that she includes a very cool internal rhyme, especially with this black cat laughed idea. So the black in the middle of the line certainly didn't have to rhyme, but she chose a word that still refers to crack and back and stuff, creating very, very cool soundscapes within the line already.
And baby, I admit I've been a little superstitious.
Very, very cool chord. Is this the pre-chorus? I believe it might be.
And baby,
First thing that we notice is that the melody starts with a pickup line, with this "and baby" before the aisle.
and baby,
And the aisle is the first downbeat melody thing. Let's find chords, because I think this is going to be juicy.
and baby,
We start with the 6 minor.
I've been a little superstitious.
Interesting, because it's not a scale chord. We do a quick modal interchange, adding the 2 major chord that may or may not be a secondary dominant. That really depends on how the song continues.
Fingers crossed until you put your hand on my little superstitious. Fingers crossed until you put your hand on.
New chord progression in the pre-chorus, where we this time have a D minor G, very important modal interchange, that then goes to the B flat, and this B flat goes to the F chord. So we have got a 6 minor, 2 major, 4 major, 1 major chord progression, which is quite interesting. And here we can see that the G, this modal interchange idea, is not in fact a secondary dominant, because it doesn't take us to the actual dominant, to the C chord, but instead is something that we, for example, would have taken from the F Lydian scale, where there is the G major chord compared to the F Ionian scale, certainly creating this I like to call it Foo Fighters feel, right? Because in my opinion, the 2 major chord is the Foo Fighters signature chord, creating that, I don't know, bittersweet optimism. Let's talk about melody for a second.
And baby, I admit I've been a little superstitious.
Really cool. So we have got a melodic motif consisting of 4 notes: A, G, F, and D. Again with a really cool rhythm. And then we repeat that rhythmic motif and also melodic motif with that downward movement. And baby, I'll admit I've been a little superstitious, okay? And we've got 3 times the same melody movement. And I think she changes the rhythm in the 3rd time around. I think she does also with a tiny melodic variation, but the core idea is still the same.
Fingers crossed until you put your hand on my.
Interesting. So fingers crossed until you put your is still the same downward motif. But then we have got another tail to that thing, which in that case is hand on mine. Really cool that she would Is it on the F chord, which would make it even juicier and cooler?
Fingers crossed until you put your hand on mine.
Yes, so she does this here. Hand on mine. And the G is sung on top of the F major chord, creating that beautiful ninth feeling in the melody as well. Lyrics, and baby, I'll admit I've been a little superstitious with that cool internal relationships between the sounds with admit I've been a little, even within the words we have got rhymes. Really, really cool. Superstitious. And then we've got fingers crossed until you put your hand on mine. Is that the end of the pre-chorus, or is there more to come?
Seems to be that you and me, we make our own luck.
So yes, we continue that pre-chorus with a third idea that goes back to the first idea. Seems to me that you and me, we make our own luck. Again, landing on this G idea.
That sign is all good. I ain't gotta knock on wood.
Interesting. So that is a really fascinating resolution or way to finish your pre-chorus and build tension, certainly with a prosodic element that couldn't be more prosodic with this knock on wood thing that we actually can hear. So we come out of this familiar, seems to be what you and me, we make our own luck, this motif that we know. Then she does something unexpected.
A bad sign is all good. I ain't gotta.
So yes, we have got the same melodic range. What changes is that she chooses a pickup melody instead of a downbeat melody. So this was very much on the grid, right? And this a bad sign is before we change the chord, which is the first difference of this fourth idea in the pre-chorus compared to the three before. A bad sign is all good. Again, the recycling of this short motif. And then we've got crazy stuff.
I ain't gotta.
Bring back the motif.
I ain't gotta knock on wood.
Okay, I ain't got a buck-a-duck-a-duck knock on wood. Okay, this is... I ain't gotta is probably also the pickup idea. I ain't gonna 1, 2, knock on wood. And then we've got this group of three notes that represent this knock on wood idea. Really cool. Wood is also the title of the song. Was this the chorus, or is there going to be another more chorusy part after this here? Same chord and harmony and harmonic rhythm idea that we had in the intro and in the verse. Certainly something in the melody that is new. I think this is the chorus now, right? Chorus with the same chords from the verse and the intro, which is legal. Let's listen to melody. Interesting that she would start the melody after the downbeat, creating that three contrasting sections. Verse starting on the downbeat, pre-chorus starting before the downbeat, and this here starting after those hits.
Wood.
New central note, melody note in the... New central note in the melody, which in that case is the C, taking everything to a higher level. Certainly the only rock-solid note that I could hear in the first motif or idea. All of that bitchin', wishin' on a falling and then we've got star, which is weird in terms of prosody, because she talks about a falling star and the melody goes up. I don't know. Maybe all of that bitching, wishing on a falling star, maybe it is to prove the criticism wrong, right? So people wish on a falling star, wish her bad luck, but she manages to raise that melody, creating a very nice contrast to what she's actually singing. I like those tiny details.
Never did me any good.
Another cool idea? Something that we already know from the pre-chorus, right? With this dip, dip.
I ain't got to knock on wood.
I think is the resolution in that idea, right? So again, we have got the wood idea also combined with the knock on wood. I ain't got to knock on wood, which in that case means she doesn't need luck because she's great the way she is. Really cool.
You and me forever dancing in the dark.
New lyric ideas, same melodic and harmonic ideas. It's you and me forever dancing in the dark. Very cliche line, but this is something that she can pull off.
Over me, it's under sun.
Again, this melodic idea, so very, very consequent melodic development.
I ain't got to knock on wood.
And she finds new rhymes every time that she brings up this knock on wood idea. So all over me, it's understood, was never did me any good before. And in the pre-chorus is also a bad sign is all good, okay? So good, understood, and wood kind of becomes this rhyming family.
Forgive me, it sounds cocky. Hypnotize me and open my eyes.
Verse 2, leaving the verse ideas. Remember this, yeah?
Daisy's bare naked, I was
This was clearly the verse idea that also then becomes Penny's unlucky,
pennies unlucky.
right? She leaves that idea, which I don't like very much, leaving the structure, the established structure in verse number 2. She comes up with a new idea,
Forgive me, it sounds cocky.
and she does Taylor Swift pronunciation things. So this is a new melodic movement. But the weird thing is, of course, the mispronunciation of the words forgive and cocky. Forgive me, it sounds cocky. It's forgive me, it sounds cocky. So pronouncing all the syllables wrong, it should be forgive me, it sounds cocky. But she does forgive me, it sounds cocky.
Hypnotize me and open my eyes.
Hey, hypnotize me, I don't know what that means, and open my eyes.
Redwood tree, it ain't hard to see. His love was the key that opened my thighs.
His love was the key that opened my thighs. Great imagery. So, forgive me, it sounds cocky, or in Taylor's case, forgive me, it sounds cocky. Hey, hypnotized. I don't know. Hey, hypnotized me. I don't know what that means because it. I'm reading the Apple Music transcription here, and it says hey, and then in brackets and then we've got hypnotized me. I don't know what that is supposed to mean. And opened my eyes. Redwood tree. It ain't hard to see. So his love was the key that opened my thighs. Of course, wood opening thighs opens a new meaning dimension.
Girls, I don't need to catch the bouquet.
Oh, this is now the verse 2. So we have got something like a, what is that? Is that post-chorus afterthought? So when I said that she left the structure from verse 1, it was not true because now she brings it back. Now it's not Daisy's bare naked, I was distraught, but instead it's girls, I don't need to catch the bouquet.
Girls, I don't need to catch the bouquet.
But certainly the same melodic idea.
To know a hard rock is on the way.
Okay, now the wood opening thighs becomes the hard rock. Stay in that imagery.
And baby,
Oh, very, very short third verse actually, or second verse I should say, because now we go directly into pre-chorus number 2, which makes a lot of sense because this is a strategy that we've seen in other successful pop songs, shortening the second verse to get to the point quicker and to bring us to pre-chorus number 2 and chorus number 2 quicker.
the curse on me was broken by your magic wand.
Still that very, very tasty idea on that F major chord.
Heights of manhood.
New heights of manhood that is now going to rhyme with
I ain't gotta knock on wood.
is very, very cool lyric writing. So again, finding different rhymes for that punchline that she delivers. Was it? I don't remember which song it was. It was different rhymes building up to a punchline. Was it a Swiftie song or was it a Sabrina Carpenter song? I don't remember 100%, but it's certainly something that we've seen in other songs. That people have a certain punchline in mind and then find different ways to build towards it. I love the idea of having that falling star as a contradiction to the melody, which is what she actually intends to say.
Never did me any good. I ain't gonna knock on wood. Dancing in the dark. Over me, it's understood. Forgive me, it's not.
Post-chorus idea, so underlining the intention of that thing, of that forgive me, it sounds cocky idea that is always tacked to the end of a chorus.
Sounds cocky, hypnotize me and open my eyes. That was the key that opened my thighs. Forgive me.
Okay, and she now seems to kind of vamp on that idea because she likes the idea of mispronouncing words and of making interesting puns with redwood trees and open thighs.
It sounds cocky, hypnotize me and open my eyes. Love was the key that opened my thighs.
Very, very interesting outro as well, where suddenly the whole band disappears and she would choose that post-chorus idea as kind of the conclusion to her song. This was Taylor Swift's Wood, and I'm sure we can take away valuable songwriting learnings. Songwriting learning number 1 is about pairing your chord progressions with interesting harmonic rhythms. So a 2 minor 4-1 progression isn't strong in itself. It needs another highlight. In this case, the composers, who again are Taylor Swift, Shellback and Max Martin, chose this very, very signature harmonic rhythm with that something like this, right? But certainly the harmonic rhythm is that strong idea that we have talked about. So this is something that you should apply to a rather conventional chord progression as well, if you want to spice things up and own the chord progression. Songwriting learning number 2 is a lyric writing tip that we have talked about in at least one other example. That is, if you have something of a punchline at the end of your chorus, make sure to find different lyric writing ways to build up good rhymes, different rhymes. In that case, it's always knock on wood, and we find different ideas that say, for example, a bad sign is all good, that rhymes with knock on wood. Then we have got never did me any good, all of me, it's understood, and my favorite was new heights of manhood, I ain't gonna knock on wood. I think those were all right. Of course, the redwood tree in itself also contains the wood word, but it isn't a rhyme. So prepare your punchline and find different rhymes to get there. My dog called. That's Simba. And songwriting learning number 3, it's a Max Martin and Let's Talk song classic. It's all about melody beginnings. When you choose a verse melody beginning on the downbeat, then it might be a good idea to have your pre-chorus beginning before the downbeat as a pickup melody and your chorus after the downbeat. This is what they keep applying, and this is what keeps being effective if you want to create contrast between different sections, especially if they have got the same chord progression. So that means that this is the most powerful tool in your toolbox in order to create contrast in different sections with similar chord progressions. And this was my live reaction on the fly analysis of Taylor Swift's Wood. If you liked this, please make sure to give me a thumbs up, to subscribe to the Let's Talk Song channel if you haven't yet, and to leave friendly comments. Please also consider supporting this channel further by becoming an active and paying member of this enterprise. Please also check my resources in the description or in the link tree if you want to get affiliate links, if you want to get the almost but not quite complete guide to songwriting in order to bring your songwriting to the next level. Thanks again to Andrew Morgan and Georgiana BS for their active support of this channel here. I guess we've talked song, you can talk about Human Rights Day now. Bye bye!